Ain't got a care in the world, but got plenty of beer. Ain't got no money in my pocket, but I'm already here. And now the dudes are lining up, 'cause they hear we got swagger. But I kick 'em to the curb unless they look like Mick Jagger. That was TikTok by Kesha. It's interesting how often we listen to songs for its tune or its beat, more often than its lyrics or message, despite the influence it can have on us, whether we notice it or not. Flavor Wire, a website just talking about unhealthy relationships and immaturity, mostly given to us through messages in pop songs, I Like It by Enrique Iglesias pays homage to people who cheat on their spouses while they're out of town, or even girlfriend or boyfriend. Now, like many of you, I love pop songs. I love songs about love, especially. And love being one of the most common topics for pop songs, it was never hard for me as a kid to find songs that were relatively new on a weekly basis. Now, my parents, my beloved parents, they would often chide me for my choice in music, saying things like, "Do you know what the message of this song is? Do you even know what that bleep means? Do you think that's really healthy advice for a loving relationship?" Now, I'm not saying that my parents didn't just make me extremely self conscious of the music I listened to out loud around them. I am also saying that they made me very self aware and aware of the messages that the music I listened to contained, especially pop music. Now, that begs the question, can we trust pop music to give us good love advice? Well, I argue probably not. What? You say, why? Why? I love it. I love him. No, Daddy, you don't understand. Calm down. I'm not saying all pop songs with love advice are bad. I'm just saying most of them are, and you should probably stop listening to them. Or just pay more attention to its lyrics, and you'll understand why. Now, I'm going to continue referencing Flavor Wire throughout my talk just because I find the way that the author presents her information and advice very humorous and compelling when it comes to pop songs and love advice. The first point is, why shouldn't we listen to pop songs for love advice? First off, it encourages immoral behavior. Rise Above It by Lil Wayne, written by Lil Wayne, talks about how it's okay for you to have more than one lover, especially when you're taking them all home at the same time. Yeah, real classy. It also doesn't encourage heartbreak to be handled with maturity. Erase Me by Kid Cutie starts out with a loving, awesome relationship. By the end, Kid Cutie wants his ex to die a very slow and painful death. VoxATL.org, another website, suggests that Stitches by Shawn Mendes is another very unhealthy way to handle heartbreak. Yes, breakups are hard, and they hurt. They're kind of supposed to. But when you don't move on from it, it becomes quickly unhealthy. So don't hold on to heartbreaks longer than you should in real life. And also, pop songs don't encourage healthy relationships. Life with Leah, another website, gives us another example. A pop song named Stand By Your Man by Tammy Wynette. A bit of an older song, albeit, but still it's pop. She basically gives the message of, if your man cheats on you, that's okay. It's okay, no problem, because he's a man and he's gonna do whatever he's gotta do, and that's okay. Just stay by his side forever and be loyal and never cheat on him. Which I can agree, the latter half of that was good. But the first half, I just have issues with. And if you don't have issues with it, you should probably get that checked out. So, I've given you all of these examples of bad love advice from pop songs. So, where should you go instead to get your love advice? Well, I suggest Massachusetts government website. They have a list of healthy attributes in a relationship that are supposed to help you grow closer to one another and just in general keep it healthy and clean, such as trust, honesty, compromise, fighting fair, and mutual respect. As you can see, none of these songs I've suggested thus far have exhibited any of those qualities. The church website is also an excellent reference. In particular, I found a speech by Mr. Chadwick, a professor of sociology at BYU. He gives the argument that the reason you have a healthy relationship and that the reason your relationship lasts long is because you stick together through the good times and the bad, supporting and loving one another, as well as having these other attributes that the government website suggested earlier. He also suggests that when we're dating people, not even just when we're married, but when we're dating people, we can't let our passions and desires drive the relationship forward. Mostly because, according to history and according to science, because of this passion, it quickly dies, and so the relationship dies just as fast. So, there you have it. Pop songs and love advice don't mix. They encourage more immoral behavior, immaturity, and unhealthy relationships. You should be seeking relationships that have honesty, trust, mutual respect, and compromise. If you need more advice, love advice in general, you should be going to sites like the Massachusetts government website or government websites in general, just mostly because the advice they give is for the good of society and it's based on science. If you're looking for more gospel-centered advice, I do suggest the church website. Or in general, just look for more BYU speeches from professors of sociology because that's based on science as well as gospel principle. And if you still feel like you're not quite getting it with all of this why is pop love advice bad, well, I suggest you go to bbc.org or other websites like it. Just search up pop songs that give bad love advice. It'll come up on your Google. Just scroll away and you'll see all the examples you need to prove my point. So please, be more selective with your pop music, especially ones that give love advice, because the last thing we need is superficial love advice. Thank you. Woo!